In Daniel chapter 3, verse 17 and 18, it says, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand." Verse 18, "But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." See, this story is a perfect example of what idolatry is in today's world, just as the same as it was back then. See, we have people around us that worship this thing, make it look like you have to worship it too, and then there are consequences if you don't worship it. There are always going to be consequences to your actions, even if they're the right action, right? So what do Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's response to the king mean for us? Well, first, we see their faith through the hardship. We see that they are faithful to God, that he will be faithful to them. They say, "We are not going to serve you, and he is going to save us from your consequence." But then in verse 18, it says something even more important to our faith. It says, "We are not going to serve your gods, even if we are not saved." That shows us that we don't worship God just because he saves us, right? We worship God for the same reason that they did not worship those gods. We worship God because he is worthy. They didn't worship those gods because they were not worthy of the worship. But we worship God because he is the creator of the universe. We worship God because he sent his son down to save us from our sins that we did not deserve to be saved from. We worship God because he is a worthy God who deserves our worship, and more than that, way more than that, way more than we could ever give him. He deserves all of it. So praise be to God for his worthiness. Praise be to God for his faithfulness and everything he does for us. May God give us strength to stay away from idols, to turn towards him instead. Praise be to God.